There are probably few today who would be surprised to hear of pet owners spending thousands of dollars to lay their dog or cat to rest. What many who do not attest to loving animals probably do not know or care about is the fact that this love of pets is nothing new. People have been venerating animals for much of human history. In ancient Egypt, cats were revered and even deified, often due to the protection they provided against some of the venomous creatures that existed in Egyptian cities. Indeed, feline favor extended as far as capital punishment. The Greek historian Diodorus Siculus wrote, "Whoever kills a cat in Egypt is condemned to death, whether he committed this crime deliberately or not. The people gather and kill him." This may seem a far cry from how most humans view cats today. Anatomy classes in high school dissect them, young boys often terrorize them, and animal control departments, often called upon to remove their remains from the street, do so in ways that would likely cause them to be burned at the stake in ancient Egypt. But there are still those who adore cats. Perhaps an even greater number holds dogs in high esteem. For such individuals, saying goodbye to their pets is sometimes a bigger deal than saying goodbye to human family members. This obsession by animal enthusiasts has caused pet cemeteries to be big business. Indeed, the Facebook page for the Hartsdale Pet Cemetery in Hartsdale, New York, boasts of being America's first pet cemetery, established in 1896, brags of its being listed on National Register of Historic Places, and points out that it is ranked in the top 10 pet cemeteries in the world by Lonely Planet travel guides. As highly acclaimed as Hartsdale Pet Cemetery may be, however, it is unlikely that any of its occupants were interred in as venerated a manner as was the beloved Newfoundland belonging to George Gordon Byron, more commonly known as Lord Byron. The dog's name was Bosun, and Byron's poem, while lauding the animal, serves to put humankind in its place in the process. Speaking of the final resting place of a human being, Byron writes, "When all is done, upon the tomb is seen not what he was, but what he should have been." The poet goes on to call man a degraded mass of animated dust. Such condemnation of the poet's own species comes even as he refers to the canine species as the poor dog, in life the firmest friend, the first to welcome, foremost to defend. Byron then closes his ode to his treasured canine by warning passers-by that, "Who behold perchance this simple urn, pass on, it honors none you wish to mourn. To mark a friend's remains these stones arise. I never knew but one, and here he lies." There are no doubt many today who, while unable to put so eloquently into words as did Byron their degree of affection for a dog, cat, parrot, or other species of pet, love the pet no less than did the poet of yore. How is it, one must wonder, that certain members of the human species can place animals higher upon the affection scale than people? In the 1967 movie Dr. Dolittle, Rex Harrison, as John Dolittle, an animal doctor who placed animals ahead of people in every way, was accused during his trial of treating animals like people. Such a concept in 1967, many centuries after the godlike treatment of cats in ancient Egypt and many decades after the veneration of Lord Byron's Bosun, may have seemed a little odd. In 2025, however, it fits right into a society that actually has pet spas, pet cemeteries, and pet psychiatrists. While it is certainly no secret that many people throughout the world treat animals like people, Do those same people love animals more than they do the people in their lives? If so, do they actually mourn the death, as Byron may likely have done, of their dogs and cats more so than their parents, their children, their spouse? In a world where historically humankind has brought so much pain and suffering upon its own species, it only seems logical that members of that species would search out creatures who love unconditionally, as many animal lovers claim that dogs do. The New Testament speaks of Jesus loving unconditionally. It also seems as if it would be the next logical step for his followers to seek out something that at least comes close to loving that way. Since any human being would likely fall short of such a perfect love, some people may look outside of their species to find the unconditional love that a pet provides. When they find this perfect love, it would seem only logical that the death of such a companion would be dealt with in the same manner as that of a close relative. The fact, then, that the Newfoundland bosun has a tomb that is actually larger than that of his master, while perhaps viewed as a strange circumstance at the time, may not even raise an eyebrow today. For if in life an animal was seen as one's closest friend and companion, such a person must be seen as heartless if, in death, an unmarked grave is all that is afforded a lost pet. Maybe that's why there are some 700 pet cemeteries in the United States. A shoebox planted in the backyard no longer suffices for many pet lovers today. It can only be expected that the pet burial business will continue to prosper and grow as humans become more and more disillusioned by their own kind. Perhaps the only common ground in a family divided by political ideology may be the love shared by all for its treasured pet. As hope for their own species continues to wane, love for the 4 or 8 or many-legged creatures is likely to grow, even to the point of cloning pets so that they will live on. Indeed, despite the fact that it can cost up to $50,000 to clone a dog today, there are a few hundred cloned dogs running around in the world, and there is a waiting list to clone even more. Humans fight the cloning of their own kind, however, with all the religious fervor that can be mustered. Maybe that has more to do with contempt for their own kind than religion. Many Christians are familiar with the story surrounding Christ in Gethsemane. Having full knowledge of everything that was going to happen, Jesus still asked if it would be possible to let this cup pass from me. While there are probably as many interpretations of this bit of scripture as there are Christians, one must wonder whether one interpretation might be that, knowing full well what was in the future for humanity, Jesus felt that saving it might well be a waste of time. Perhaps the contemporary degree of devotion shown to pets of all shapes, sizes, and breeds is humankind's way of finding the unconditional love that will enable it to continue to press on in a world that is becoming more and more devoid of hope with each passing year. In the aforementioned poem by Lord Byron, the poet lamented how dogs were denied in heaven the soul he held on earth, even as man claims himself a soul-exclusive heaven. Since the death rituals practiced by humankind throughout its history have often been associated with some sort of afterlife, perhaps the increasing number of pet funerals is a hint that, as the 1987 Disney movie title prophetically points out, all dogs go to heaven, and maybe even a few cats, goldfish, parrots, and turtles.